review of Sinners. Now, before I say what I'm gonna say, yes, this movie is great. It's 5 out of 5. It's a fantastic movie. But it's literally just From Dusk Till Dawn. Sinners is From Dusk Till Dawn for black.
That right there, it's exactly what is wrong. He can have his own opinion, but let's talk about that a little bit. Welcome to the chat, everyone. If you're not subscribed to the channel, this is my review of the movie Sinners. This gentleman idea that even though he's saying that it's an amazing film, and I'm talking about Sinners, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way when it's being compared to From Dusk Till Dawn. And let's give props to where it's due, right? From Dusk Till Dawn, an amazing film, 1996, about like what he described. It is a night in the middle of nowhere, and it's about vampires, right? Yes, directed by Robert Rodriguez, but this movie was written by Quentin Tarantino, not a Latino. The main cast, George Clooney, not a Latino. Quentin Tarantino, not a Latino. Harvey Keitel, not a Latino. Juliette Lewis, not a Latina. Ernest Liu, not a Latino. The only two main characters in this film, From Dusk Till Dawn, Salma Hayek, that it's about a group of vandals surviving a night and it's about vampires? That's his take? Yeah, nah. We need to put that behind. We need to absolutely give this film and the creative team of Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan and everybody else associated with this film its due. Okay? 98 approval ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, which you guys know I am not a big fan of, but it has that an A score, a cinema score of an 8. It's the highest R-rated original horror film. Coogler's directions, film cinematography, I mean, it's just brilliant, okay? If you haven't seen it, I completely recommend you go watch it, okay? So, box office success, let's start there. This film was, the estimated budget was between 90 and 100, and just on the box office weekend, it produced half, 48 million domestically, and about 63.5 globally. To this date, I don't have the final numbers, but it's the highest grossing debut for an original film. The storytelling of this film and the cultural depth, it's, again, you have to be in the theater to see this movie. It's excellent. It describes as an excellent metaphor between vampire and the cultural appropriation that and institutional racism that African American community has been in the forefront of it. We need to stop with asking for them to give credit to a movie that nothing to do with it. Yes, of course, it brings inspirations from Dusk Till Dawn, but it's about vampires. So in that type of logic, and bear with me, so that means that we have to put them in the same space, a movie like Saving Private Ryan, directed by Steven Spielberg, this amazing war movie starring Tom Hanks and Matt Damon. We're gonna be comparing this type of movie with the likes of The Last Drop, even Pearl Harbor in 2001, directed by Michael Bay. Saving Private Ryan, amazing war movie. Pearl Harbor, a popcorn movie about a war, doesn't put them in the same even space to be making that type of comparison. So I don't see where he was going with this type of comparison on these two movies, but I digress. So we need to talk about the impact of this horror film because this movie feels it in all three acts of the movie that act number one, the development of the characters in the 1930s. So the impact on the horror genre about vampires. This film blends supernatural horror with themes of family, survival, and cultural identity. Again, this movie set in the 1930s in Mississippi as a backdrop, and it's a fresh perspective that it basically just challenges traditional horror narratives. Industry recognition, right? So when we talk about the industry, it's so hard. WB has it packed down when it comes down to horror films. And Blumhouse that has also been creating amazing pieces of cinema when it comes down to the horror. And now that Ryan Coogler and team, it's taking this Black Power to a new stage with the storytelling and Michael B. Jordan's performance. It's on another level. Spike Lee praised the movie. Coogler's really tapped into our ancestors on this joint. Means a lot. My review of the film. It's an amazing piece of cinema. You have to be in the theater to watch it. Like I said earlier, the first act, second act feel like two completely separate movies. The music, it has some musical scenes that will leave you amazed by the creativity of how it's done. That when Michael B. Jordan as Smoke, it's on one of the scenes that he listens for the first time, Sammy, the preacher boy, singing. You can tell the way that he reacts to this voice, to this rhythm that his cousin it's working with. I mean, it was just an amazing feeling to see that come to life, and the way that Smoke reacts to this, it's amazing. And again, the cast behind it. Eileen Steinfeld, she's amazing in this film. Which again, like I said in one of my breakdown trailers, I had no idea that she was part of this film. I just knew that it was a Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler's, and that it was a film set in the Jim Crow era South. You know, again, Jack O'Donnell, Wumi Mosak, and Jamie Lawson, Delroy Lindo. Like, I can go on and on. Omar Benson Miller. I can go on and on about the amazing cast and the amazing performances that this director brought to life on this story. When it comes down to the storytelling on a creativity level, let's go one by one. Michael B. Jordan's dual performance, it's amazing and powerful. Wumi Mosaku, she just steals the scene. She's just, it brings every scene that she's on screen, it just brings it to life. And when you go see this movie, which I really hope you do go see it, you also feel the difference. The atmosphere, how it feels, it's the feel of it. It's just dirty, it's tense, it builds you. The first two acts just builds the story on this movie. That is the best way for me to describe it. The cultural depth. This movie is not a jump scare. It's a layer, and it's just, you feel the real historical, let's call it trauma, with the supernatural, vampire, racism involved. And this is a world, remember, I mean, if you haven't seen it, but this is a world where there is a lot of representations. And number two, those who understand the representations know that it's just a fact of life. In this world, vampirism exists like nothing else. And when the third act is about to start and you get the other group representing the Indian, they know what's up. They know what's going to happen. And at one point, they just said, we're trying to help you. Don't let the color of your skin, don't let that dilute the message. And it's just so critical to what some people are saying nowadays, that this movie represents, or not represent, but this movie mirrors today's society when it comes down to representations, that sometimes we vote against our own best interest. And there is a scene that represents just that, that because of the difference of colors, we can see that we need each other. And again, it's just an amazing piece of film. And no wonder Mr. Coogler had wanted and fought to have this, the amazing contract that he got with the distribution company, with WB, on the fact that he's gonna get his rights back after 25 years, because again, he's protecting his legacy. So if you haven't seen this movie, Sinners, playing right now in theaters, I would absolutely recommend you run to the movies and watch this film, because it's an amazing piece of cinema. Welcome to the chat, everyone, and I hope that you have enjoyed this halfway review of the movie. Not a spoiler, but I just wanted to make sure that we don't fall into the track of asking for dues like the gentleman before on something that it's an original backdrop, it's an original idea. Don't let that noise get clicks. Welcome to the chat, everyone.